Hello guys, it's your boy Dan Gordon, aka Shelley Duvall. I'm here on the set of The Take. We're reviewing the Goonies today. I am the executive producer of The Take, the sole creator. The Take was my brainchild. I have edited every episode. I'm also the camera operator. I'm here with Matt and guest.
And guest? Guest.
We're still debating if we want to take you on as a full-time co-host.
I feel like this far into the show, we should just accept him.
He has actually done more episodes than I have.
Yeah.
So.
And he sets everything up. He's the most dedicated member of this team.
What are you doing defending Horatiu? What's gone in there?
Well, get your dirty commie hands off me, you scum.
That's more like it. You guys want to see something scary? Theme song!
You again didn't say what we were reviewing.
Welcome back to The Take. As I did say in the intro, there was some controversy about that while we were doing theme song, but I did say in the intro we're reviewing the Goonies today, and here's the plot synopsis from IMDB. In order to save their home from foreclosure, a group of misfits set out to find a pirate's ancient valuable treasure. I had some trouble getting to that.
You okay there?
Very simple, stripped down plot.
Yep.
One would almost say it might even be a little too simple.
It is quite simple.
I mean, you guys got a problem with high concept? I feel like the majority of the movies we review are very high concept.
That's true. I wish we challenged ourselves more. Yeah. I push for more heady dramas, contemporary adult
For
movies.
this review, I was the one that nominated a foreign film. No one wanted to watch the foreign film. Granted, it was Godzilla, but...
Oh yeah, very cerebral.
Yes.
Well, I like dog soldiers, stupid stuff, so.
What do you guys, what
Someone call a paramedic. Dan's having a stroke.
What do you guys spend the majority of your time watching? I'm curious to know. Is it mostly rewatches, or are you always watching new stuff?
Usually I'm watching new stuff when it comes to movies. I used to rewatch stuff a lot. Like The Goonies was actually one of the movies that I rewatched a lot when I was a child.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at here, because like I think nostalgia plays a huge part in a lot of these.
Yes, it does.
And this, I know my dad introduced me. I'm very thankful. He introduced me to a lot of movies at the right time, at the right age. But Goonies was one that he missed. So I didn't see this until freshman year at college.
Oh, that must have been not great.
Yeah, so I feel like I missed out on something here.
Didn't you have cable growing up? This was on cable.
I didn't have
all
cable
the time.
growing
That's how I
up.
saw it the first
Oh,
time.
that's right. Dan was Amish.
Yeah, so this was Richard Donner's predecessor to the Lethal Weapon franchise.
Wow. Well, let's see it real quick. Let me show you it. Let's take a clip.
No. So Richard Donner, as I was saying, we're not going to clip. We're staying right here.
No clip.
This was like, he's like a adult film director. He made the Lethal Weapon franchise. He made The Omen, which
He
is...
makes pornos?
You know what he means.
Yeah. I feel like nowadays we have like this set group of people that are like just working on kids films. Like John Lasseter has his hands in every kids film and they're all animated. Like maybe this is just an outlier, but did it used to be the case?
I feel like now if you're not doing a franchise or a sequel, you're not doing
I don't think we have the power to let anybody do anything, you know? So, just saying, it seems pretty godly of you to say that we let directors do things, so.
Well, I'm just depressed that we don't see kids films like this anymore, you know? Everything's animated.
where kids have a solid adventure and get into a little bit of mischief and trouble.
Yeah.
What is this?
So, just gonna feed my depression here.
Oh God.
Clip.
I just saw the most amazing thing in my entire life! First you gotta do the truffle shuffle. Come on! Do it! Come on! Do it! Cut it out, Mo.
15 seconds to give your initial impressions on the movie. Give me a second to get on my clock. Phil, vamp for time.
So how do you feel right now
Any
about
content.
all
15 seconds, go!
I think it's a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a good Steven Spielberg produced movie, and I think this is kind of what started the whole trend of Spielberg producing good movies.
15 seconds, very nice. And Horatiu, go!
I really liked this movie when I was a kid growing up. I watched it a lot, like I said earlier. But nostalgia, like you said, plays a big role in it. And watching it now, it does lose some of the charm, but it's still a well-produced movie because if you throw something at me, oh my God. No, this is mine now. It's a baby Ruth.
Luckily, I brought enough to share.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Everyone.
Should we eat these now or should we save them?
You know what? Be my guest.
No, you know what? We're going to save them.
He's a little stressful right now.
I think, yeah. It might be not good to get you more excited with sugar. Yeah, so like I said, I kind of feel like I missed the boat on this movie a little bit. I mean, I still enjoy it. I think the setup for this movie is really like masterful. You get the whole opening sequence with the bank robbery, the car chase, introduces us to all the characters. Spielberg is the king of overlapping dialogue. We didn't talk about this when we reviewed Jaws, but I mean, this is directed by Richard Donner, but you can see Spielberg's influence in a lot of it. But like, he's just like can really flesh out a scene. You know, like there's multiple narratives going on at once when we're introduced to the Goonies. You got like, you know, the kid trying to tell him about the car chase, and you got Josh Brolin talking about how he failed his driver's exam. It just feels like a really, like a real world.
You know what I don't like about that scene, however, is that you cannot light gasoline on fire with a cigarette.
It wasn't a cigarette. It was a gunshot.
Either way, you can't do that either. You can't do it. Yeah,
No, that's true.
Yeah, there are a lot of
I
strange,
tried.
like little inconsistencies in this movie that bothered me. You know, like stuff like that. Like, how do you smell ice cream?
You just
How do you
do.
smell bubble gum?
You just do.
When you're a fat kid, you smell
I can't suspend my disbelief like that.
It does strike me as an Indiana Jones for kids.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what it was about 80s kids movies, but they really were able to nail kids' interactions.
Would this be a kids movie, or would this be like a tween kind of teen movie? Because I definitely feel like you relate more to him in your adolescence than you would as a child.
I don't know, because that's the thing. I think that's the case more for like John Hughes movies, E.T., freaking Stand By Me. I think those are like a cut above the other, those types of movies. I think this one was a little more surface level. Like they got the camaraderie down between all the kids, but I don't think, we don't really get into like, you know, the deep, the dark.
Everyone gets their wish at the end. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's all surface level. I mean, there's no scratching beneath the surface. The deepest they go is, I'm gonna miss you guys. I want to be a Goonie forever. Goonies never say die, but now we have to leave because the bank's foreclosing on our house.
Yeah.
And that's the deepest. I mean, you don't learn more about like Mikey's fight with like asthma. You know, the girl at the end says,
Yeah.
"You're gonna make someone happy one day, besides all your faults," or whatever she says. You know, like even though you're missing some parts, you'll make somebody happy. And
That's
I didn't understand what she meant, but I guess it's the asthma.
Yeah, I think they just weren't able to, like, they try for these emotional moments where, you know, the relationship between Sloth and Chunk and freaking Sean Astin and One-Eye Willie, like, I don't really get his affinity for One-Eye Willie.
See, that's what I thought too, and I was speaking with our creative consultant, Brian Bucantis, before this. He's an avid Goonies person. He would actually like to be on this seat with us, but unfortunately we didn't have enough camera people. But he was talking about how he loved the movie, and I thought that some of it was contrived. For example, like you're saying, Sloth and Chunk, they just love each other after one. You believe it from Sloth because there's something wrong with Sloth, but Chunk, well, there's something wrong with Chunk too. But then the same thing with One-Eyed Willie. This kid just like loves him all of a sudden out of nowhere and has like a special connection and is crying when he sees them.
They're trying to like make it like they're both misfits or outcasts of society, but I don't know, it's like...
When really One-Eyed Willie was a swashbuckling pirate that probably killed many innocent people, raped a lot of women, and, you know, made a lot of orphans. Maybe killed children too and stole money from them. So, I mean, do we really want to, you know, put this guy on a pedestal, this One-Eyed Willie?
Why are we talking about it?
Penis.
One-Eyed Willie?
Yeah.
Please tell me I'm not the
In
only
a
person.
kid's movie?
Yeah, I'm not the only person that flew over, right? Like everyone kind of got the...
Penis.
It's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah.
Well, going back to Sloth, like, what do you guys think of Sloth? He's pretty, like, weird inclusion in the film.
Yeah, he's a strange fellow.
It's like, yeah, it's I
That's
don't know why they
proof
even thought of that.
if you fail in the NFL, you have an acting career as a strange, deranged person
Yeah.
with a lot of facial makeup.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think it was like, I don't know, there was something going on in the 80s where, or I think it's like a direct result of a E.T., you know, where Spielberg got a little cocky and he's like, I'm going to make you empathize with this
Misfit.
alien that's made out of Play-Doh and chicken wire, and now I'm going to make you empathize with this elephant man looking, he looks like Jason from Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah,
He
that's
does.
true. And they keep him chained up in a room. That's got to be like some kind of violation of human.
My mental image of Sloth always has like his eyeball hanging out and not, just off to the side. And I don't know why that is.
Well, your mental image is wrong.
I know it's wrong.
Probably
but I
like
mean,
that's how you remember it from watching it as a kid, you know?
It horrified you that bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't
You're
scared.
traumatized. This is a safe place. You
You can talk about it.
I wasn't scared. I'm a little scared right now on account of this.
I don't know. We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we'll talk about something. I feel like we've already exhausted all the topics there is, but we'll find something to talk about.
Hey!
We're going to truffle shuffle our way to break.
Okay, so we drowned the fire,
Yep.
stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
I guess since Matt ate his bar, I'm just going to eat mine for when we come
Real
back.
nice, Dan.
Sorry.
I'm going to save mine.
Okay. Well, that just fits your personality, you know? You're like the pragmatic guy. Welcome back to The Take, by the way. You didn't realize we'd already come back from
I
commercial.
did not
Yeah.
realize.
You thought that conversation was private.
Yeah, I did. I didn't realize we were rolling. These big
Yeah.
red lights on the cameras didn't tell me that.
So, probably the most impressive thing about The Take, I mean, the most impressive thing about The Goonies is the set design. What do you guys think?
Which set are you talking about?
Like the caves.
Yes, that was pretty cool. I will say, I mean, anything Steven Spielberg does that has sets, he really knocks it out of the park.
I think this one felt like a little more fake, but I think it was almost intentional. You know, it's supposed to be, this movie's obviously going for a more cartoony, artificial feel.
Yeah.
You got like the villain who's doing like the boar grunts as she's running and stuff. It's very much a live action cartoon.
Definitely like the well, the scene of the look of the well scene.
Yep.
Spielberg actually directed that.
Shows.
I think in the pirate ship, they actually built that too.
Wow,
And
really?
they captured, when the kids see it the first time, that's their authentic reactions.
Get out.
Yeah, but I think as elaborate as the set design is and everything, and impressive as it is, I really appreciate its simplicity. Because I think a lot of times, like nowadays you mentioned It earlier, I think these production designers, it's a bit of a wank fest, you know? They're trying to show off, they over-design everything. Like Pennywise's lair in the last movie with the kids all floating and spiraling all around. It's like, it's overkill, you know? To bring it back a little.
They were just like, cave, make us a cave. And they made him a cave.
And yeah, that looks like a place, you know, just like a awesome fantasy water park.
It looks like, yeah, it could be a theme park, and I'm surprised that it wasn't turned into One-Eyed Willie's Cave. Oh, wait, that's why.
Yeah. I got a few other words for One-Eyed Willie's cave, but
The villains, I'm not crazy about the villains.
No.
Like
they're typical.
the Fratellis.
Yeah, it's typical bad guy.
Yeah.
Nothing real different about him. Just mobster type bad guy.
Well, so if we were Goonies, which Goonies would we be? I think there's a pretty clear answer to this.
Well, why don't you tell us
Yeah.
what
Yeah, why
Goonies
don't
do you
you-
think
Well,
we'd be?
Matt's obviously Mouth. I think I'm Chunk because I'm always destroying the set, and Horatiu's the boring, pragmatic protagonist, Sean Astin.
Oh, really?
Hey,
Mikey.
I thought he would say I'm the, foreigner.
you got a nice big career of supporting roles ahead of you, buddy.
Thank God.
And second thought, you might be Sloth as well. You could.
One day I'll get it. One day we'll just keep squeezing.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock down your shot. Ladies and
Lock
gentlemen, Brian Bucantis. Someone gotta share your mic with this dude.
He's gonna have to talk just
Brian-
a little bit louder.
We're gonna share
Brian has
microphones,
been
bud.
sitting behind the camera dying this entire episode because we've just been talking Goonies.
Yep.
And it's his favorite movie of all time, so he's stepping away from the camera for a second.
Oh, I thought
To defend his
I thought it was
baby.
a baby.
Brian,
We're gonna let you talk for a minute.
So what do
is
you
this
want?
is this amplified by nostalgia? Can you see past the nostalgia? Can you admit that if you hadn't seen this as a kid, you'd not feel the same way?
I can, and let me tell you why. Because this movie was one of the first of its kind. I think. I definitely think that the Goonies, if you look at the recent trend of movies that are happening now, Stranger Things, these very or television shows, these very successful. This is so weird that we're holding each other. This very successful. Me and Matt still
I'm not
love each
letting
other. Very successful franchises. They definitely pay a homage to this to this movie in particular.
That is something that I noticed in this film. There's references to Gremlins, there's references to Superman, which Richard Donner also directed. And back in the day, that would have been considered like a very out there kind of quirky thing, you know? But nowadays,
Oh my God.
I'm so hot right now. I'm so hot.
Oh my
right
God,
now.
we're so we're tethered.
Okay, what's going on there?
this is why
Pay for this kind of
this is why he's cameraman Brian.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, finish your thought.
Yeah, like you're saying, franchises, movies nowadays, they're based on references. That's the foundation is we're going to make a movie like Goonies. Whereas in Goonies, these references were outliers, and they were just fun little things, you know.
I don't know what to add to that.
All right, well then get the out of here.
All right, thanks.
Back behind the camera. Brian Bucantis, everyone.
I agree. This is definitely like the start of the kind of. I don't want to call them kids because they're not exactly kids. Like when someone says it's a kids movie, I'm thinking 5 to 10. You know, these are kids that are going out at their adolescence, tweens, if you will, as we call them now, going out on their own, having their own adventures, making their own big decisions. Whereas a lot of times these kids movies, you don't really get a lot of that. It's just, well, they're the bad guys and we're the good guys and we're gonna beat them. There's a little bit of confliction going on with all the characters and what they want and.
I disagree. I think all the characters are pretty one note. You know, I think there's not a lot of conflict. I think the movie really does peak at the setup, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it speaks to how good the setup is. But
Absolutely.
this is a wholly original movie. Brian's right. You know, there's nothing that you can point to like before this that would be.
No, it's definitely the godfather of like a lot of movies that try to emulate it, and we said it even in our It review that Spielberg and Stephen King are the people that can write and direct, create movies around children.
And you had
children's
Chris Columbus
stories.
as well, who did Home Alone, who wrote this, and it was just like the culmination of all the
Yeah.
80s children talent. You got Corey Feldman, freaking Short Round.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Josh Brolin before he was Thanos, so that's cool.
yeah, his most famous role.
Yeah,
Thanos.
most famous. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right. Jonah Hex. Sorry.
Jonah Hex. Oh, that's a great movie.
Discussion for another time. I think.
I do want to talk about all that gold.
Oh.
What happened with all that gold?
What do you mean?
They took what they needed to save themselves.
Oh yeah, the nondescript amount of jewels that they just know will save 75 houses or however many houses that dump out just a handful of like possibly fake jewels, and they're like, "This'll do. This'll save us. Let the ship go. Goodbye, One-Eyed Willie. Adios with all that gold. We're just gonna keep 7 jewels, and we're gonna be able to buy back all of our houses."
Do you think James Cameron's gonna go find it?
No.
I don't understand that.
James Cameron.
Yeah, but The Goonies is a
But
fictional.
now-
It's a fictional film.
This isn't real.
This has nothing to do. That was not based on a true story. They would have put that at the beginning.
I thought all movies are based on true stories.
No.
We're gonna take a quick edit break while we fill Matt in on all the movies that aren't based on true stories.
We're gonna list all the movies. They're gonna be all on screen. Sarah, have fun with that. So do you guys have any interest in a Goonies sequel where everyone's all grown up now?
Absolutely not.
You know, why not, you know? I don't give a
I don't even
Just
care
do
now
it.
that I know
we're
this
just
isn't
we're
real.
just swearing on the show now,
I guess so.
openly.
I think it's definitely time to wrap up this review. So what are you guys gonna give this out of 5 whatevers?
I'm gonna give this 4 data hump punches out of 5.
I don't know if it was a hump punch.
That's all.
I mean, it came from his hump.
Yeah.
You know, but all right. Adding in the factor of nostalgia, I will give this 4.5 sloths in his Superman shirt and the pirate hat out of 5. But if I were to see this today without any nostalgia, it's just like a blank slate. I'm just a regular human. I'll never be that, but I'm just a regular human. I'd probably give it like a 2.5 to 3.
Yikes. And I'm gonna go heavy 3.5 because I respect its originality. Statues of David sans the Pinus.
I'm really glad that none of us went One-Eyed Willie on that one.
I'll show you my One-Eyed Willie.
No,
well, we do
Dan,
commercial
Dan,
break.
Damn, no!
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to The Take. Here's a celebratory can crush for our 20th episode.
We got letters. Looks like we got 4. 4 in the fern. We got Daniel.
What happened? Wait.
Oh, hey, I am Chuck.
Horatiu.
I didn't even know you wrote that,
It's
Horatiu.
data.
We got and it all play. That's me.
All right. What is Sean Astin's best role, and why do you think it's Samwise Gamgee? From Sean Aspen.
Who's that from?
Sean Aspen.
Oh, interesting.
But to answer your question, it has to be Encino Man. Better than all the Lord of the Rings films combined.
What is your clinical diagnosis of Sloth Fratelli, aspiring TV doctor? I'm gonna say a little bit of gigantism, with some facial deformities, and some mental deformities as well that have led to mental retardation.
That was very succinct. I thought you were going to be really mean.
No, why would I be mean against someone who can't control what they look or do?
Because he's a
Communist.
Wow.
Well, do you guys think that the movie was fat shaming with
Yes.
the truffle shuffle?
But
Probably.
it was less fat shaming, more, hey, fat people are funny.
Fun fact, Richard Donner actually bought, what's-his-face, Chunk, a gym membership. He felt so bad about that scene.
Tried, and now he's, a very successful entertainment attorney. So.
That's true.
All right. Do you consider One-Eyed Willie the best movie pirate of all time? Probably someone from the Muppets, like,
That's a good.
You know?
The entire Muppets cast.
yeah, when they were in the pirate theme or whatever, or pirate movie.
I got an all play.
Ooh.
I got the all
Pirates. There won't be any contract signing today or any other day. That's a line from the movie.
I'm not cleaning that up. The Goonies is one of those movies people turn their backs on, like Garden State and Donnie Darko. Have you ever done that? If so, why do you suck so bad? From our good friend, Little Champion Man, Rocco on Twitter. Garden State sucks. Donnie Darko sucks. Goonies
I
isn't
agree
that
with both
bad.
those.
I've never turned my back on the Goonies. It's always been, if I need to show a kid a movie, I always throw the Goonies on them.
But yeah, has there ever been a movie you guys have done like a total 180 on, like for better or for worse?
Not that I know of. I mean, I don't think I've. It's more so just the stuff that's from your childhood, our childhood, and you watch it again and you're just like, That's not as good as I remember.
Yeah, better
it.
left unrevisited.
Exactly, and there's plenty of those that I've stupidly done to myself.
The only one I can think of is Halloween. Like the first time I saw that, John Carpenter's Halloween, I wasn't scared by it, so I didn't like appreciate it. But now I've grown to really love that film.
Eraserhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I was a new film student, I was like, oh man, that's so crazy and so like awesome. And now that the world has jaded me, I just realize it's just edgy bull.
Oh no, dude. I love Eraserhead still.
Bull.
I thought you were gonna say it the other way around.
I've never seen Eraserhead.
Edgy bull.
Never-ending story.
Well, that's one of those things. Brian Bucantis from behind the camera just talked about the never-ending story that he turned on. He turned his back on. But it's one of those nostalgia things, right, Brian?
That one for sure.
Yeah.
So is that all the mail ferns?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe we should wrap up the show. You know.
Yeah, you know, I think I feel a song coming on, guys.
Yeah, I think so. Wait a second. Oh, there is an extra mail ferns. Huh. That's weird. I think it was in the couch. Maybe this is the new mail couch.
That's not gonna be a thing.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's addressed to Daniel Bryan Gordon. I don't know why they put your middle name in quotations.
Is this your legal name?
I don't know. Let's see what it says first before I commit to anything. If you found One-Eyed Willie's hidden treasure, would you ever leave the take? The Mail Fern Boys. Well, you know, that's one of the reasons I am leaving the take is, you know, this show has just been such a cash cow for me, and I've made so much money, and I'm selling the rights to the show, and
you're doing what?
I'm cashing out, you know, because I'm the executive producer and the sole creator.
Oh, we're going to legal battle right now. Brian, call the lawyers.
I think Heather is just gonna yell at him.
Yeah, probably something.
Well, lawyer up, buddy.
Bring it.
Well, yeah, so I guess we didn't really talk about it at all, but this could very well be my last show. I don't know what the future holds. So I think I'm just gonna go out like I planned originally. There's only one way to leave.
There's no more blood, is there?
Oh no.
God, I hope there's no more blood.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You feel it inside, and when you wake up, you'll say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, a feeling you know. I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have, I put this on backwards, more reviews for you. And you'll have things you want to bitch about. I will too.
Bye, Dan. I hope you don't get stabbed in Los Angeles or raped by some homeless people on Skid Row.
I wish the exact opposite.
Or get AIDS from a needle in Skid Row.
I hope you don't get AIDS though.
Or get a sexually transmitted disease from a hooker in Los Angeles.